Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, and next to me, as always, is...
Hi, it's Bonnie Scalisi. How are you, everyone?
How are you doing, Bonnie?
I'm good. You know, everybody's so busy this time of year with all the shopping and whatnot. You know, it's just, I hope everybody's getting their Christmas shopping done. The good part is the Jews will be done, and then the non-Jews can fill the stores by the time Hanukkah's over. We're up to the fourth night tonight.
Oh, I was just gonna ask. You're
Every
just
time.
saying that's gonna happen.
Every
to you.
time.
It's fine. It happens. We're human. So the only thing I really wanted to talk about personally was Bonnie and I do a free comedy show at G's in West Hempstead. It's typically the first Monday of the month, but we're going to do it January 16th, 2023. So that's a Monday night. Come on down to G's. That's 157 Hempstead Avenue, West Hempstead. Bonnie and I keep posting it on our pages. Come on down if you're a comic and you support the show and you sit in the audience. The next month you automatically get a spot on the show. So that's how we do it, to try to keep some people coming every month.
And the headliner is?
Oh, and we have our friend Kathy Arnold. She's hilarious. We need a girl. We haven't had a girl around.
Yeah, we're all about the girls lately.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been giving the men enough time. Now it's all for we're going to give the ladies some time. And I wanted to plug the last produced show that Steve Rocco Perillo is going to be doing. He's not giving up comedy, but he is giving up producing, and his show.
Is that right?
Yeah, his last show is at Governor's in Levittown in the Giggles Room. He is, and you know, it's. I should have Saturday, January 28th, and the link is up. So get your tickets early, and we want to show. I was saying on my live did really well, but most of the people that watched it were not comics. But Steve Rocco Perillo has done a lot of things for all comics, and you should be there at that last show to support him. So I just wanted to say hi to some of the people that are tuning in. David Lange, I love that picture of you sitting on Santa's lap as a little boy. That was adorable.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Hi, Bill Hansen. How are you? My boyfriend, Michael Steven Spielberg. How are you doing? Your mom, Mary Underhill.
Girl
and,
power.
and thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please share the show if you are watching.
Bill Hansen.
And and then we want to talk about...
Oh, yes. We want to just take a moment to let you guys know our friend John is now doing he's now doing comedy classes.
John Ziegler.
He's a fantastic comedian. John Ziegler, Ziegler.
Yeah.
So if you go to booking at johnziegler.com, johnzieglercomedy.com, booking at johnzieglercomedy.com, or if you check out www.johnzieglercomedy.com, you can get some information on there. Send him an email, tell him Bonnie and Mandy from the Wildflowers sent you. He'll give you, rates and times and availability to help you with your jokes if you've written before, or if you've never written a joke. I doubt he wants to do that. But if you've never written a joke, maybe he can help you with some new material. And if you've got some stuff, he'll definitely help you clean it up.
Yeah, it's private lessons.
It's one-on-one you go. So... Bonnie had a lot of fun.
Michael's loving your hair.
Oh, thank you, Michael.
It's like it's a different color. It's a little darker.
And it's big, yes.
And big. I love it. I love big hair. Hey, Felix, how are you? So I think we are ready to introduce our wonderful guest, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so our guest, it's ladies' night, so of course she's a lady. Nicole Narayan, she's a comedian, healer, crossing guard, and jack of all trades. Nicole Narayan.
Woo!
And I was saying her name correctly.
You were.
In the live.
Amazing.
I did a live, and I wasn't sure if I was pronouncing it right.
You did.
So I kept apologizing, and I was
Okay.
very happy that
After a
I
while,
said it correctly.
you get it right. Nicole Narayan.
Hi, Lauren De Jesus. How are you? And Felix is wishing us Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And we wish everybody a Happy Hanukkah and a
there I
Merry
am.
Christmas.
I know, it was locking up on me, and it was doing that before. The freaking
okay.
mouse
People's comments
doesn't
right there.
Oh, yeah.
freaking
Hi,
respond. I know you. I was quietly freaking out over here. I'm like,
It's okay. I didn't
aren't you
even notice. You did a
working?
great job.
Mandy is amazing, and thank you, Bruno. Already shared the show. I really should share the show. So, while you guys are chatting, I'm going to attempt to do that.
I don't have big hair too, but I have a big bun that's on the top of my head. So they say the higher the hair, the higher you are to God. They say.
Yes.
Right? That's why
I
my
love
hair
that.
is like this.
So
'Cause I am close to God.
happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Love to be here. Thank you guys so much for inviting me. I'm excited. It's a ladies' night. I haven't done like a interview podcast with all women in a really long time. I was a while ago back on Tony Walker's podcast at Knock 'em Dead Comedy at Governor. Shout out to him. Very cool guy. But I'm so happy to be here with you guys tonight.
Well, thank you for coming. We
Yeah.
really appreciate having you. And I ironically ran into Nicole at an autism benefit to it was a charity to give away free trips to Disney. And that I always forget who the person is. Am I getting it wrong?
No, I'm laughing because there's literally that's in my set. If you've heard my set
Is it?
before.
I have heard your set, so I'm,
If you've heard my set before, that's in there, which is hilarious because I didn't realize how funny it was until I heard it come out of your mouth just now.
And who was the guy he was from The Voice? I always forget his name.
Carter.
Something Carter.
Carter Rubin. Carter.
Michael, what's the guy's name?
I think it was Carter Rubin.
Yes, I think it was Carter Rubin.
Yeah.
So
what are you doing on there?
I'm sharing it to groups. I'm
What are you
attempting
up
to share it
to?
to groups. And I have a lot of groups that I can't share it into because it has nothing to do with them. So I'm like trying to weed through it.
Gotcha.
But I will pay attention in a minute.
All right, fair
I'm multitasking as us women
That's
do.
what we do best.
Right?
So I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
You used to use a different last name. What does your new last name have a meaning? Is there a reason you picked
so
it?
my full name is Nicole Marie Lamonaco. That's my birth name. Nicole Narayan is my business / comedy / Reiki healing name. Narayan is a spiritual name that I was given when I started taking Kundalini. I was in a Kundalini 10-month program to get certified. And the name that I was given was Narayan, and it means like clear and as infinite as the ocean.
Oh,
And-
that's so cool.
Yeah. So I was like, awesome. And Nicole means victory of the people. So I was like, I'm fucking winning on these names right now. So, am I allowed to
I never
curse
heard
on
that.
here?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry,
I
I
never
was like,
heard that
"Ugh."
about the name Nicole.
Yeah.
I never knew the meaning of that.
Yeah, I
That's
didn't
pretty-
know it either until one of those things happened where people were like, what's the meaning of your name? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Now I need to Google it. And victory of the people is what it meant. So I went on a really long self-discovery that day. I was like, I'm going to go to the bottom of my person. I got like really involved in my spirituality to a point that it was like almost extreme when I had first started doing it because I was so enamored by how you can get to this level of consciousness and infinity and love and all of these things, and I went real hard at it to the point where it was like hard for me to come back to like earth and reality. And now I can joke about it, but I was very serious at one point. I was like, spirituality is everything, and I'm going to go into this deep spiritual meaning of my name and what it means and why I was born here, and like all of them still are very relevant, but like now I can make fun of myself about it, where before I couldn't. So.
Oh, wow.
And what
I just
led
know
you-
my name means pretty in Irish. It's an Irish name.
Oh, is that right?
And Michael was asking, is Nicole an Irish name? But I
think
don't
it's
know.
French, to be
Okay.
honest. I think
Ye-
it's French.
Yeah.
Nicole.
It sounds French. I like it.
All right. So, what started you on this journey? What came first? Were you a comedian? You're like, I need to heal myself because comedy's fucking grueling, or was comedy first?
Well,
Or
it was a
healing
double-edged sword. I think a little bit of both. before I started comedy, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and happy and full of life.
And it ruined all of us.
It ruined us. It just killed our souls.
Yes, it's
It
very.
does.
I really was, before I started comedy, I trusted everybody. I loved everybody, and now I don't trust anybody,
Right.
except like my BFF I've known for like 40 years.
She's not even talking about me.
So it's the things that have happened to us, and people that you would never think would screw you over.
Yeah.
And it's just really, and I
For 5
I,
minutes.
I said to certain people like at parties, like, why do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm still doing it. Jimmy Quinn is tuning in. Thank you, Jimmy, for saying Happy Hanukkah.
I saw him and never mind.
No, where did you see him?
No, he was. It was pictures of him and Terry. He's my pseudo uncle, but he grew up next door to Terry McNeely. Just small world.
And it was
after all.
another small world. He was following me on Facebook. Because we have the same political beliefs. And it turns out he knew Mandy. So it's like, it's a really small world. That's another thing, is in comedy, it's a very small world.
It's too small.
And like people you don't even think of show up in places, that you don't think,
Comedy was,
So you don't do comedy at all now?
I do shows very sparse, very...
At your restaurant?
Yeah, well, Stephen and I were doing shows, for a long time, him and I produced shows together, and then, life happens and things change and blah, 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 and my cousin owns a restaurant in Santa Maria, so he was...
That's my hometown.
Oh, really?
See,
Yeah.
here, small world.
Small world.
There
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
again.
So Sea Cove, shout out to Sea Cove,
Yeah.
great Italian-American grill. So Steve was producing shows there, and once in a while I would just jump on. I'd either host it, or I'd get a spot, or I'd just do a guest spot, or whatever. But now that he's done producing for,
Me and Mandy will produce shows out of there.
yeah, somebody will, I'm sure, whatever.
Again, the comics
The
hop
comics,
on.
like,
Woo!
again, see, it's like that's what there's already people that are like, well, I'm gonna get this room, or I'm gonna get that room, and blah blah blah, and like ultimately, like, there was someone else who had their eye on it before this conversation took. So,
Of course.
She's
and they
kidding.
kind of have a friendship with my cousin already, so like no hard feelings.
Oh,
Blah,
yeah,
blah,
of
blah.
course,
Oh,
of
good.
I
course.
don't like it. Too bad. I don't care that much. So,
It's all good.
So Lauren De Jesus is saying she loves your dark hair.
Thank you.
And my boyfriend's saying, this the Christmas edition of Wildflowers, comedians with no soul. Hey, you know what? I think it's
I
made
have
us
shoes
stronger
on.
people, right? We've gone through a journey as far as we were kind of naive, and now we've come out on the other side, and we're more aware adults. I was like a baby, really,
Right.
and it makes you grow up fast. And anybody who's a comedian, if you you come in and you think everything is so fun and everything, and then it just takes a hard turn. But I hope that that's not for every comedian. It happens to be the case
I think
for me.
I think if you are doing comedy to be a comic and do it for a living and want that to be your focus, friendship needs to be like you need to make that known ahead of time. Like, nice to meet you, but this is all business for me, because people treat it as if it's a social event,
Yeah.
and rather than treating it as a business. And if you want to succeed in this, you have to treat it as a business. You're a person as a business, because that's what you're selling. So I think that's where it gets a little blurry sometimes, because people gain friendships and expect that somebody's going to do this for you, or they're going to do that, but I thought we were friends, and and it's like, well, you take care of yourself first, then you're an asshole, then, it's like...
Well, one of the reasons that,
you can't please everybody.
one of the reasons Steven stopped producing, and I understand this, we produce
Did he say
shows.
this to you in confidence, or did he say this to you in a way?
You know what?
Just
You're
your
right.
mic. You want to put it on your shirt.
I better,
I
you
just
know
want
what?
to make sure they can hear you.
I better not say, but it's I'll say for myself, when you produce shows, you can't, we are an exception because we take everybody. If you show up, we put you on the show. But if you produce shows, because I used to produce shows out of coasters, when you pick people to be on your show, whoever's not picked to be on on the show gets their feelings hurt.
Right.
Like, why didn't I get a turn? And, I've been on these shoes on the other foot as well. So I understand it, and it's really hard to produce shows.
And some people are just genuinely not funny. And you have to
Yeah.
be polite about it. And it's like, you're not funny. Like, I'm trying to put on a quality show and your act is shit. And everybody, I'm being
And no
really
one wants
blunt,
to say that.
but nobody wants to say that to
No.
each other and hurt
No.
anybody's feelings,
Yep.
which is like, again, friendship over business. It's like sometimes people need to hear the harsh reality of like, listen, if you worked on this A, B, and C, and you did a little bit, more work on it, then, I could see you progressing and we'll put you on the next show. Let's see what you do. But people are not wanting to be accountable for things and they don't want to really do the work. You're not a superstar. Just because you get in front of an open mic in front of, a couple of people that are also comics and whatnot, you're not a giant rock star.
Yeah.
Like you have to do the work and people don't want to do the work.
Yeah, they just think you get up and
you get up and it's
you just make up stuff. And
Yeah.
people are gonna, even if you're the life of the party, it's not the same as being a comedian.
It's not.
But I have to be honest. I think one of the reasons that I used to go to open mics back before COVID was loneliness. And it was like the same group of people. And we were actually, at that point, everybody was friends.
like a reverse AA meeting.
Yeah,
It's
it was
where
like
everyone goes to drink
everybody
and-
knew that the same people were going to come, and it was fun. And then I don't know what happened. It just
It loses
changed.
it loses its fun and it loses its flair, and for me anyway, I can't say that for
Felix
everybody.
wrote. Felix, I'm not saying that out loud. That's
Somebody
not
needs
nice.
to tell Bossy he isn't funny. Aww,
He is funny.
Yes, he is.
He's funny.
Bossy.
Because Jeff also is giving up comedy. I don't know if you heard that, but he's not. He said his last show is on Christmas Eve. Also in the Giggle Room. I'll give them a plug.
Wow.
And if you
Is
want
it
to
his
see
last
Jeff
show, or I
Bosey,
think you said the last show of the year.
no, I think he said his last. Unless that's a marketing technique.
Yeah, he's
I
gonna
think-
be like
I
one of
think
those
it's a
fans that
marketing
just
technique.
keeps
You
saying it's the farewell
Yeah.
tour of Jeff Bosey, and everyone just keeps going and see him.
Yeah, I think it might be.
Jeff,
Yeah.
you're a liar, but that's okay.
I don't know.
No,
so
I'm just joking.
Going back to the original question of was it comedy or healing that came first? I thought comedy was gonna be healing for me because I was broken already, and then I went to comedy and I went in there bright-eyed, bushy-tailed with this whole like.
Yeah, I love your aura.
Thank you.
You have like an outgoing, happy aura. Because you came to my mic, and I think we met before that.
Yeah,
a few
we
times.
did. We met like
So,
briefly.
Yeah,
before
so
that.
we kind of knew who each other were.
Yeah.
But when you got up there, you have like a presence.
Thank you.
And I was whispering to Michael, and then you come over, and you're like, "What were you just saying about me?" And thank God it was something positive. I said, Michael said you should guest host my mic, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I was like,
I
"All right,
just
that's
loved
fine.
it. I mean,
Okay.
like it's like you
I
have a
don't-
presence.
I don't have a lot of fear anymore. Like I've worked through fear, and I don't care if you like me or not. Like I just to a point where like I don't really care if you like me. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I'm not capable of, and they're both humbling, and they both great. I work. I do a lot of different jobs. We'll talk about that for a second.
Yes.
I'm a Reiki healer, and
Now, can you just for people like me explain what that is?
Sure. So it's my business is called Your Experience. So everybody's experience with me is going to be different. You have your own energy and you have your own energy. I have my own energy. When I have a session with my clients, they come in, we have a little one-on-one. I ask them to describe to me how they're feeling energetically in a few words and how they're feeling emotionally in a few words.
Oh.
And whatever they're saying, I kind of just unlock this part of myself that allows the infinite spirit, God, love, all that is in through me, and it comes through my hands, and I just give love to the people that come into my space. And I do a little meditation with them to get them grounded. Like I'll say, take a few deep breaths. Imagine yourself becoming completely weightless. I have to close my eyes to do it. Imagine yourself becoming completely weightless. Allow the table beneath you to hold you. So I just go.
What if someone's really uptight? Like I'm really uptight, and I don't like people touching me.
I won't. I'll ask my clients. I say, "Are you okay with hands on or hands off?" And if you don't want me to touch you, then I'll do hands off Reiki, which I'll go, close to your chakras, and I'll just do it hands off.
I've heard of that word, chakras.
Chakras.
What does that mean?
So your chakras are like energy points of your body. So you have your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart space, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. So you want those all to be in alignment with one another.
Michael likes the root.
He likes the root. So it's, somebody wrote, wow, very cosmic.
Yes, Felix it has had a show on Gov's Radio called Let's Eat Long Island, and I love Felix. He's amazing, and most people would benefit from this.
Yeah, anybody can benefit from it as long as they're open to trying something that's outside the box. Mm-hmm. I can't sit here and tell you that I'm going to cure you of everything and that I can work miracles, but I can tell you that you will leave feeling lighter, you will feeling loved, and you will feel like you were in another worldly experience that was outside of the earth. Like just floating.
Wow.
Like you feel floating most of the time. And I have a very meditative touch, and I just channel. I don't know how to describe it. The other day, just to give you a quick scenario of what happened, I was in a session, and all of a sudden I start smelling cigarette smoke. I'm like, okay. I just let it go. I'm like, what is this coming from? And then all of a sudden I feel a cigarette on my lip.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden my whole demeanor starts to change, and I feel like a old woman from a different country, and I'm like, this is bizarre. Like, it sounds crazy talking about it. Like, I know this isn't the norm for people, and this is my norm, but not everybody's. So I am saying, okay, I'm going to go with this. And I start listening, and I start asking, what is your message? What do you want me to deliver to this person? And it turns out that the client that I was working on was afraid to travel to Ecuador to go visit her father, and the woman that was, I guess I was hosting inside of me for that session, was her grandmother. And I said, did you have a grandmother who had salty brown hair, like doesn't speak English, heavy chain smoker? And she was like, that's my grandmother. And I was like, of the father that you're going to visit? And she's like, yeah. I was like, well, she is with you and super protective of you and is like assuring you that you're safe.
Wow.
Which she was having a lot of fear to go to Ecuador because it's a third world country, and she was like just not ready to feel safe to go. So after the session, she felt like, wow, like that was amazing. And 2 days ago, I worked on a woman whose husband tragically was taken. He got hit by a car up on Jericho Turnpike.
Oh,
it was terrible. And her husband came through, and it was a beautiful session. And we're both crying, just so much love. And it's really special. It's just a really special thing that happens that I can't describe unless you experience it. And once you do, you're like, oh, okay, like that's, I can only put it into words. You can't, how do you describe the entire ocean?
Wow.
Like
Esther Forrester wanted to know what, like she missed the intro. Mm-hmm. So did I spell Reiki right? Did I pronounce?
Oh, it's R.
R-I-C-C-I? Or
No, it's R.
I knew I didn't get it right.
R-I-E-K-I.
Okay, so that's what she does, and it sounds like it's a little bit of like psychic, kind of intertwined with meditation and everything.
It literally is everything.
And Felix said, I thought about being because Esther thought you were a sex therapist. So Felix said, I thought about being a sex therapist, but I would have to change my show to let's do Long Island.
Let's do Long Island. Huh?
Felix, that's funny.
Reiki, R-E-I-K.
Thank you, Lauren.
I'm so dyslexic.
Thank you,
so
Lauren.
like spelling and words and writing and things are not my forte. I could tell you it, but don't ask me how to write it.
So how much does a session cost? Because I was seeing a therapist, and then my health plan, I loved my therapist, and I was doing really well. And then my health plan dropped that particular place from the plan. So then I tried to get another therapist, and I went for one session to this lady, and she was out of her mind, and it really turned me off to therapy. So I don't know. Have you ever done therapy?
Yes.
So it's like I just kind of have not done anything at this point, because all the ones who are available, the good ones are already booked and they're not taking new patients, and the ones that are crazy are available. And this lady was crazy, and I'm like, I'd rather be by myself than go see a crazy lady every week. Wait, so your mom is saying a lot. You want to read that?
A girl I know work with, all right, this is my mother. A girl I know I work with does this also, and her sister had died at her sister's son's wedding.
Oh.
Her sister
Oh my God.
used her so she could dance with her son. No, she's not using periods. I think she means she channeled them at the wedding. So her and her son could dance
together.
They experienced
That's
the whole thing.
so beautiful.
Your
I
mom
totally
gets
hear
it.
where she's coming from. I actually I think that if you don't believe or you're not open to it, it's not going to happen. The fact that you're open to it,
Yes.
you're gonna.
It's like being hypnotized.
Exactly.
Right. You have to be, again, open to it. And if you're not open to it, then it just feels like, someone's touching you. But
Well, that's not bad either. I'm just saying that sadly everyone's dilemma when trying to find a therapist. One of my students is a therapist, but in Brooklyn. I ain't traveling to Brooklyn. That's a deal changer.
I just found a new therapist that is in Washington, the state of Washington, and we do Zoom calls because my last therapist hit on me, and I was like,
Oh my
okay,
God.
here we go,
Jeez.
3 years in, and
Oh my God.
And
Mine was a woman,
thanks
so-
a lot.
yeah, 3 years in of all that, and it was like, whatever. It was a blessing in disguise. It was time for me to move out of that anyway. Like, I don't look at things as like poor me's or like, oh, I'm in a victim mentality. Like, it happened, that sucked, you suck, now I'm gonna go find somebody else. And that's exactly what I did. But going back to your point though of, you have to find trust with people, and some people who do Reiki and things like this are really woo-woo and can be like super like, so like this is what we're doing now. And it's really, spiritual, I'm gonna go in, and it's like, all right, like that's kind of creepy too. Like, I'm scared of that. Like, be a person also.
Right.
Be here. Like, I need you, like, we need to gain some trust together. So I feel like I have a really well balance between like being able to get to the woo-woo without
You're being a real person.
being a real person and just like, not thinking that you can do what I do. Anybody can do what I do. You're just a matter of practicing and tapping in and allowing yourself to learn it if you want to.
Felix said his niece is trained in Reiki. She knows great remedies for health, like papaya for stomachs, etc.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend said if Nicole thinks the client is cute, does she touch their
tushy?
their tushy?
Well,
Stop it, Michael.
The session is all face up, so there's no tushies involved.
Michael's obsessed with the butt, so just ignore him.
Sometimes I touch my own butt when I have those kind of cravings. I'm like, my own butt's right here. No, I don't touch anybody's butts. That's weird. But it's been really beautiful because every day I have a new experience with a new client, and I get to, share whatever message that person needs to hear at that time. And it's just, it's a godsend to be able to do that for people and have them leaving feeling like fulfilled or feeling like they've gotten their money's worth. What you asked me what the price was. Normally my sessions are 60 minutes. and it's 111. I like to keep it at the 111 for angel numbers, and you're investing in yourself, you're investing in good energy. Like, money is currency, and it's energy, and it's value. So rather than just putting it like, it doesn't mean anything, like changing our relationship with money is a really big thing in order to continue the flow of it. So I like to keep it at 111, but if it's your first time, I keep it at 99. So I like to keep the numbers like 99, 111, yes, like
Felix said
power numbers.
He's joking. He's a jokester. He said, did he try to put the reiki stones to you? He's talking about your therapist.
No, he didn't.
And Michael said, is the 60-minute only 45 minutes like real therapy? Because, oh my God, Michael's a real character. When I saw my therapist before my plan cut her out of my, I can't see her anymore. We did a joint session, and he like kind of came at my therapist, and my therapist was like shocked. I don't even remember it. It was like before COVID, so it was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
I'm not even going to get into it, but he was like, the therapy session was going nicely, and then all of a sudden, I don't even remember what it was, but he just said something to her like, oh, because of the 45 minutes, because she was like, well, we have to wrap this up, and he's like, but it's like people are paid for their time,
Right.
and time is valuable. Time, sometimes, in my opinion, time is more valuable than money. But everybody is different, and there are like Ziegler went over 2 hours with me for a comedy session that I only paid an hour for, and I had to leave, but I understand if he kept it to exactly the hour because he had a next client or whatever. I respect what everybody wants to do, and everybody is different. Felix is saying Peter Pan disease. Oh, wait. He goes, Michael goes, I was nice to her for 44 minutes. That's true. And then when it was time to wrap it up, I forgot what he said. Don't even bring it up, Michael, because it was not good. And she was like shocked.
So you were supposed to have, what you're saying is you were supposed to have an hour, but you only did it for 45 minutes.
No, my session is only 45 minutes.
Oh.
So, it was like getting to that time. She was wrapping it up.
So he was mad that you were wrapping it up.
Yeah, and I was fine with that. And because we wanted to do it face to face, and she refused to do it face to face. She wanted to do it like over the, the Zoom.
Zoom is not face to face?
It's not face to face. He wanted to be in person.
Oh.
And it was like kind of during COVID, and she didn't want to be in person, and it did not go well.
So were you in person actually?
No, we did it. We did it on Zoom.
Zoom.
We were in Atlantic City, I believe.
Oh God.
And she was here on Long Island, and the session was going nice and nice, and then Michael like gave her like a big punch, and I don't even remember what it was about because it's almost 2 years ago.
A metaphorical punch.
Yeah.
Guys.
So Esther said. It's always 45 minutes with a therapist. Yes, therapists usually do 45 minutes. Michelle Astor, how are you, Michelle? I hope your husband is feeling better. Her husband was not feeling well. I hope your husband is feeling better. And she has a podcast called Disturbed and Confused,
yes,
which is on Strong Island Television, and I highly recommend it. And Michael goes, she had a glass jaw, LOL. So Esther said, except for the therapist I met on the beach. Okay, that's like leading into something else. That's like kind of like what Nicole was talking about.
Inside jokes you guys got going on.
I don't know what that means, but
well,
I could just imagine.
I hope your boyfriend doesn't get mad at me for reeling it back in a little bit right now.
Go ahead. It always takes a left turn.
But
reel it back in.
Therapy, you were saying, well, I don't, you were going on a tangent about how therapy was not that great of an experience for that particular session.
Oh, I loved my therapist.
But now
I loved her.
You haven't been going to therapy anymore because
so now I'm rogue.
Well, if you would like to come in for a session with me and experience something a little bit different than it's not talk therapy. That's the difference. It's not, you're not talking out your feelings. I'm feeling your feelings with you.
I'm going to do it.
Like,
Yeah,
that's the best way to
definitely.
describe it. And actually, I've never said this, so thank you for even saying this, because now it's given me a new way to do it, to describe this, is like, I'm feeling your feelings with you. And it's sometimes...
Are you going to be okay after that? You're going to have to need therapy after you deal with me.
I'm okay.
You will need a therapist after that. That's actually one of my jokes. That after you deal with me and feel what I'm feeling,
you need a therapist.
You need a therapist.
Well, I can only imagine what you are going through, and that's the thing that I do, is that I put myself fully in your shoes.
Oh, boy.
And I give you, for the hour, the undivided attention that we all seek and deserve and want, that we don't always get, because we have to be mom, we have to be girlfriend, we have to be client, we have to deal with clients, we have to, be there for our parents, or, whatever the so-called A, B, C, D thing is that you have to do. There's always a part of us at the end of the day that puts our head down on the pillow and we're still alone. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
We can have all the support in the world around us, but at the end of the day, like, we still go to bed with our own thoughts alone. And it's not sometimes anything that anybody can say or do for you, but it's a matter of somebody just being able to be there with you through it for just a little while, And it's like, that's what I do. For that hour, I sit in the shit, or the goodness, or the love, or whatever it is that person's feeling, for an hour with you. And I do everything in my power to make you feel lighter from it.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful session, and I love what I do.
So how can people book an appointment
Just
with you?
love what I do.
How can people book an appointment with you?
They could direct message me on Facebook or Instagram at Nicole Narayan, or Nicole Narayan _, which would be for Instagram.
And spell your last name.
So it's Nicole, Nicole, no H, Nicole. Last name is Nararar. Wait, Nicole, I gotta write down. See, this is my dyslexia, Nicole. I gotta write things. I don't even know how to spell my own name. It's funny, right? Narayan. I know. This is dyslexic life for me. It's really been fun. I recently found how bad it is when I became a crossing guard, because I'm also a crossing guard, people. Because
oh, that is so cool.
It's pretty
I was
cool.
a teacher for 31, I always forget how long, 31 or 32 years. Now I forgot. And I was friends with the crossing guard who was there for a long, long time. And it's a very important job because, the safety of little kids.
Totally.
And it's chaos.
Some
if
of them
you
are.
don't know,
Some of them are.
some of the parents are out of their frickin'
The
minds.
parents are the worst.
They're out of their
Parents
minds.
are worse than the children.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there you go.
And I've seen it. Especially, they all, I understand because I was a parent, I was a teacher, so I get it. I get it from both sides. I understand both points of view. The parents are working, they want to drop their kid off, they're in a hurry, they come last minute, and then there's certain procedures you're supposed to follow to drop your kid off, and it goes right into the shitter when they're late. And they're zooming, they let the kids off in the intersection, they let them
putting
walk
their coat
across.
on in the middle of the
I've
street.
seen it all, and I was friends with the crossing guard. Kudos to the crossing guard. Everybody who has to deal with that pressure of my school is an 8:30 start, which is late for the city, but the parents are like, I want to drop my kid off and go. I have to get to work, and you can't blame them because they're going to get in trouble if they're
Right.
late to work. So it's like, So how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it since September. I'm still a sub, but I'm hopefully come January will become permanent. I'm hoping, but I love it because, it's the best of both worlds. I have my one world that's like all zenned out and peaceful and loving,
And then you get the
And then
chaos.
you
I have
stand in
like this
traffic.
chaos, traffic, and like I can't describe to you guys how much I love being bossy. Like, I love telling people what to do. Like, I really, really, really like it. And it's my favorite. Like, I just walk into traffic and I'm like, stop. You, no, you, go. Like, I get to direct people. I got my little hat, my little whistle. I'm like, I told my boyfriend, I'm like, it's just the perfect amount of authority for me. 'Cause like, I'm not a cop, so I'm not like responsible
Yeah, nobody
for, like,
hates you because you're not a cop.
yeah, like, nobody hates
Everyone
me.
loves the crossing guard.
Yeah,
I feel
like,
like.
people bring
Everyone
me,
loves the crossing
They
guard.
do.
Unless you're like telling you you're wrong.
No, well, I smile. I mean, at every car, literally every car that goes
Aw.
by, I make sure that I smile and like I give like a little wave to some people, but not all of them.
Yeah,
but,
no,
like,
like because these parents today, I don't know how they do it. I mean, like I thought it was hard when I was a parent back before COVID and all this stuff that's going on.
God.
I can't even imagine, so I have empathy for them, but then there's the very, very pushy parents who, they just are really arrogant and you just want to strangle them. And then you've got the really nice parents who are quiet and, follow the rules and they never get the recognition. It's only the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So Felix said I could never be a crossing guard. Too much stop and go. And your mom said, so funny, when I was a bus driver, I felt the same way. I did a lot of hand signals. Like I was.
yeah, like
Like
you're
I
an
was an
umpire.
umpire.
I gotta feel like I need to hang out with your mom.
Yeah.
But yes, like it's a lot of. Today was a perfect example. Like the guy was, 3 car lengths away from me, and I had to cross the street. The kid threw the ball over the fence. It was in the middle of the street. Like, I don't need them running out. I said, wait right there. I'll get you the ball. I stopped the guy's car, and he throws his hands up at me like, really? So I throw my hands back up at him. I'm like, really? I go, you're going to have to wait. And then I go and I get the ball. And now I'm taking extra time because fuck them, right? I go and get the ball, and then I go and I pass, and I go, okay, you can go now. Like, go right ahead. Like, where are you in such a rush to go that like 10 extra seconds is gonna make or break you, dude?
Oh my God, it's
like maybe I
road
just
rage.
saved your life.
It's road
you know
rage.
what I mean? Like, let's think about that for a second. I just stopped you for like 20 extra seconds. Those 20 extra seconds, you could have just gotten hit by a bus.
No, this is true.
So I'm a hero, is what I'm trying to
My
say.
boyfriend said, I do a lot of hand signals when I'm driving too, meaning like the F say. You know what's so funny? As a Reiki healer, I would like your opinion on this. I was coming over here tonight, and I've been on both sides of this. I have been the perpetrator, and I've been the other person. So I am driving on the LIE, and I'm going straight, and someone's trying to get in, and they literally crossed right in front of my car, so I had to slam on my brakes. The gifts and pocketbook on my passenger seat went all rogue, all over, and I beeped my horn at them, and I was ready to kill them. All right? And I've also been that person who peeked and thought, oh, it's okay to go. And I went, and I had a guy that cursed me out, called me. I said I was sorry to him. He's like, sorry is not going to cut it. I've been on both sides of that. Tonight I was on the other side. So how does Reiki healing deal with the everyday bullshit of, what's it called?
Road
rage.
Yeah.
So Reiki can help with a lot of different types of stress, and you, after you have your Reiki session, of course you want to try and do everything that you can to let that feeling linger as long as you can. It would be the same thing as taking a yoga class or going for a really great workout, and that feeling that you feel like, oh, I feel good, like you have to allow that to linger. 9 out of 10 times, if I'm being totally honest, people who have road rage are not entirely mad at the drivers. Like, it's
everything that's led up to it.
Everything,
and that it's like the valve, right?
The road rage comes from all of the things that go on in your life that you ignore. And the road rage is the place that you're able to just be mad about something now. Like, I'm mad now. Like, okay, but are you mad at like your parents maybe, or like did you not like are you like not really addressing the real deeper issue here, or are you just like, because when you aren't in a bad mood, all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know what, I'm going to let this person go today.
100%.
Or,
Yeah.
you know, like,
100%.
oh, I got stuck at this red light, it's no big deal. You know, like, it's all about your mindset and the way that where you're at that day. Road rage is a thing that is a reflection. People drive the way they feel.
It's the symptom of what's going on at the moment.
Right.
It's almost like when you are angry at someone in your family, like the dad is mad because his boss was mean to him, so he's mean to his wife's mean to the kids are mean to the dog,
Right.
Yeah.
and it's just like all this stuff
So on
travels
and so
downhill.
on and
Yeah.
so
Thank you,
on.
Lauren. And she's laughing. Thank you,
But
Lauren.
it's true, you know, like it's so true. And it's like the road rage is the one place that you're in the car in this little escape pod by yourself to be able to be like, fuck you!
Oh, I've been there.
You know, and it's like, that's not what you're really mad at. And that's okay, but like...
Your mom goes, everyone drives to LA needs Reiki.
Reiki. Everybody
Yes,
needs Reiki.
everybody
But
who drives
this
needs
is-
to have a Reiki session.
They do. Anybody who's a
100%.
commuter,
A Reiki
driver, has, you know, a breathing, living heartbeat, like I can do Reiki on you. But the other thing I think is the good thing about, on the same thing that you're saying as being the perpetrator and the other word,
I've
which
been
we
both.
don't know.
I've been on both sides.
As
I'm,
a-
It
I'm
happens.
actually more the person that causes the havoc. And I'm like, I'm sorry. But today I was the other person.
you were the aware person.
I was the person that had to slam on the brakes because this person was coming into the lane. My grandfather, who my grandfather has passed away. He was Romanian. He would drive. He was a terrible driver, and he would just get on the LIE, get on the when he's merging. He didn't look to see if anyone was coming. He would just go.
Just go. Oh, God.
And he smashed up a couple of cars.
Yeah.
And then he finally, gave up driving. But there are people who don't know how to drive.
No, they don't. And it is infuriating. Sometimes it's genuinely infuriating because there are people that are just not paying attention.
He's
and
like,
it's
you know
not
what? They're
good.
going to
Like,
get out of
yeah.
my way because I'm getting on the expressway. He was quite a character. Oh, my God.
But it's gotten worse, too. Because
Much worse.
You know why?
Too many cars, too many drivers, too many people that are stressed out.
Yes.
And the road rage incidents are getting worse
But there's also
and more violent.
But the cars themselves are taking people's actual human instincts away from them by having blinkers and beepers and side road mirrors and blind spots, and people don't have to pay attention.
Yeah.
I have an old
It's
car,
true.
so I
that's-
still have to look out my
You have
rear
to
view
look.
mirror. There's no
But there's too
thing.
many things that are going on that's trying to make it safer for people.
Yeah.
But there'll be no one behind me. Literally no one. My car's like beep, 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 because there's like a patch of dirt on the reverse camera thing, and I'm like, who the fuck is behind me?
Yeah, the
no one's
sensor,
there.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so now I'm being extra cautious for something that's not there, and I'm like, what is going on? But then, wait, I had two more points I had to make. I'm gonna bring this all together. So you were saying be the perpetrator and the other word.
Oh, Lauren goes, you have to be observant of the other idiots.
Yeah,
I love
you
that.
do have to observe the other idiots.
We're all idiots on the road.
Well, we are. Sometimes I'm an idiot. Sometimes you're an idiot. Sometimes we're all idiots.
We change. What's it called? We change
roles,
positions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it? George Carlin who said, he goes, anybody who's driving faster than you is an asshole. And anyone who's driving slower than you is an idiot.
100%. We all been there.
But the other thing that I was going to say is being the perpetrator and the other word is these are two very opposing things that I'm doing right now. Like I'm going from one space that's like
Calm.
calm, love,
Namaste.
nice, namaste, and the next one's like I'll rip your fucking head off.
Yeah.
And I think
Crossing guard. Yeah.
I think it's great to have both. I don't think one is more or less special than the other, and I think you need to have both to be able to thrive in this world because If you're too nice, you're going to get taken advantage of. And if you're too mean, nobody's going to love you. So you got to find the balance of both. And when I'm in a space of Reiki and people have negative emotions that pop up that need to be removed or need to be faced or whatever, like, that's where I say I feel the feelings with you. I'm not afraid to feel the feelings that people are afraid to feel. So I'm almost like a vessel of those feelings for you, where I'm fighting the feeling while it's happening. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So my boyfriend was saying that is why I don't like the new cars, because the car no longer lets you run over the other idiot in a road rage incident, which is true.
It is true.
You know, Michael and I, we have cars that don't have all the, the new stuff. So we're like stuck in the past. I think my car is like 5 years old, so I don't have a back mirror. It's
No, you mean backup camera.
a backup camera.
You have a mirror.
A backup camera. I took my dad to buy this car. We went to the Toyota place, and my dad paid cash for the car, and he didn't want anything in it.
Oh yeah.
He could have had everything.
Yeah.
He does.
Space.
He had a chair, a chair in his living room that had all the remotes on it. He could lean back. He could do this. He doesn't use any technology. So we ended up throwing that chair away, which we paid a lot of money for, and we got a regular chair. So anyway, Cedric Hooks is tuning in. Hi, Cedric. He said, hello, ladies. Long time no see, and I'm sorry I've been busy. Happy holidays, and love the hair once again for the both of you. Love you, Cedric. I haven't seen you in a while. And Michael saying, what's behind me when I am driving is not important. Yes, it is if you're backing out and you're going to hit it. I forgot what I was talking
Your
about.
dad's chair with all the remotes.
Oh, right. So my dad, and this has nothing to do with what was being said, but I was driving here and there was an Amber Alert for a red car, a red something. And it's so funny because the Amber Alerts are usually always for a Toyota Camry or some kind of Toyota. It's always a gray Toyota. And my dad was, he knew like he was getting dementia, and I just got this car for him. He'd had it maybe less than a year. And he's driving down a one-way street the wrong way. And he said, he was smart enough to say, I don't think I should be driving. And my daughter at that time was just finished driver's ed and was.
She's like, so I'm getting
she needed
Grandpa's
a
car, right?
So I took Grandpa's car because it was newer than my car, and I gave her my car, which basically had just the basics, even though it could have had all this stuff. So, all the new technology is important, but the old stuff keeps you.
It keeps your brain working.
It keeps you, right. Your mom is saying, I need a Reiki session after this show.
You should come.
Book it with Nicole
book it. So anyway, Narayan, you asked me how you could book me. You could book me on Instagram or Facebook, or you could text me on my cell. That's my phone.
I'm booking a session.
Please do. I would love to have you come in.
I'm trying to better myself and be a more calmer, chill person. And I'm getting there. I don't have outbursts like I don't feed into drama anymore.
Yes.
And with comedy, that was a big thing. If somebody attacks you, I felt like I had to respond back. And I realized
you don't have to.
Leave it alone. Don't respond to it. Sometimes the best thing is no response.
Yes.
Right.
It's very powerful because then it shows who they are. And I've done it, and I've learned from it. I've grown. Taz is tuning in. You were asking.
Oh yeah, I said who drew
Taz
that. Yeah.
is so talented, and she loves your hair. I love Mandy's hair. I don't change. I've been the same since I was 20 till now, except I haven't cut my hair, so it's longer. But and we love Taz. Taz has been with us for
Yeah, since the beginning.
Should we
man.
do? Should we do
Yes,
this?
I was just about to say we got a couple minutes left, so let's just read the ad if we could.
Oh God, let me get my glasses.
We have our
Where
guest
are my glasses?
read
You want me to
the.
do it, Nicole?
Hold on, let me try here.
She was
Hold
not
on.
ready. Give her a moment.
All right. Keys love jewelry, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how you
fun.
say it? Keys love jewelry and Keys cutlery. Cutlery.
Yes.
Cutlery.
Cutlery.
It's like, you know,
Knives.
instruments,
I
knives.
gotcha. Keys love jewelry and Keys cutlery. Keys love jewelry, stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Keys cutlery, knives, swords, and self-defense equipment. Excellent quality for reasonable prices. Shop online at keyslovejewelry.com or keyscutlery.com. The new location is Retro Relics at 2860 Middle Country Road, Lake Grove, New York, 11755. And you could call 631-379-1781. And I'll repeat, to shop online is Keys with an S, keyslovejewelry.com. Keys cutlery, cutlery. I'm dyslexic.
It's a hard word to say,
Cutlery.
anyways.
Keys
I don't even know what cutlery means, but okay.
.com. Phone number is 631-379-1781. I've actually seen some of Key's work, and it's awesome.
Amazing.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I've
Steve
seen
has
it.
some
They
of
are
his weaponry, and
his
it's
wife.
so cool.
They are both wonderful, awesome people, genuine people.
American.
They are really cool. Lauren's ordering a really cool ring from them. Thank you,
Awesome.
Lauren. Yeah, they are our sponsor, so please, it's Christmas and Hanukkah. Get your orders in and order from them.
Very cool.
Do you have any advice for people what they could do at home to stay well, or the new year? What do you suggest?
Yeah, actually tonight is the winter solstice. So
Okay.
it's the,
Is it tonight?
it's
People were
tonight.
telling
Yeah,
me that.
happy
So this is
winter.
the shortest
It's
night
the-
of the year, and then it will start getting lighter and lighter.
Right. It's the
That's
it's
No,
the
cool.
longest
It's
night.
the longest
Shortest day.
It's the shortest
That's
day,
what I
but
meant.
the
Yeah, yeah,
longest
yeah.
night of the year. So tonight I would suggest that you write down some intentions that you'd like to bring into your future, into your life. I think that if I had any piece of advice, your vocabulary and the words that you speak out loud, it becomes your reality. Even when we're joking, we want to joke in ways that are supportive to what we're growing into. So I think it's really important to just choose words that are going to be beneficial to moving forward. Instead of saying if, say when. You know, if this happens, no, when it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Start believing in yourself, believing in your words, because we spell, SPEELL, spell, spelling, cast spells. So you want to go into a whole witchcraft sort of thing about it, but no, it's in the word, spell. Like, spell your life, spell it out for yourself, because what you speak is what you become. So,
Uh-oh.
no,
I'm in trouble now.
No, it's true. You have to speak nicely to yourself. It's something Glenn and I have been trying to do recently. Like, we said no cursing at one another. Because even if you're saying this fucking thing and you're getting mad at the object, it's like, but you're still cursing at me, kind
Right.
of, and I'm
they're letting
the
their
worst.
They're letting
He's-
the tap off their rage go.
Yes, so
And
we're
you're-
like,
and
we just
you're-
need to not
Yes.
give focus to that.
Terry
Right.
McNeely is saying to my boyfriend, advise against that from personal experience. I have to backtrack to see what that's about. I'm not quite sure. But anyway,
he might just be talking about me in general.
no, I
I'm
don't.
not sure.
Oh, David Lange said Merry Christmas. David Lange is
Nah.
the nicest, most wonderful person. He served our country. He said Happy Hanukkah and Happy Winter Solace for those. Oh shit! Just want to.
Solstice.
So that would be my advice: is watch how you speak and long, deep breathing. Long,
Yes. Breathe.
deep breathing is always helpful.
I'm gonna have to breathe deep.
Yeah.
So breathe
Deep
deeply.
breathe.
Be nice to yourself.
Be nice to yourself.
Write it down. Make
Write
it
it
real.
down. Make it real.
Don't road rage at people.
Yeah.
I've learned you could get killed that way.
You could be the perpetrator,
Oh my
or
God.
you could be the other guy.
I've been both. I've been both. And I was like, almost like a dog when two dogs get in a fight, and I was wrong, and I knew I was wrong, and I like cowered down, and this dog went on top of me, and he was like, I was like, I'm sorry, and he's like, sorry is not enough,
And he
sorry
still
is not
rode
enough.
me harder.
And then I was like, I didn't know what else to do. And people were starting to beep us because we were both blocking the road. And then what was so funny, I was on the way to a show here.
Hey, babe.
Glenn!
Babe, we're still
Glenn,
going.
Glenn, come on camera. He's buying a pizza. Felix is saying Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Stay out of
David Lange,
trouble.
bless you. Thank you, everybody. Nicole, you're awesome.
Thank you,
Mandy,
guys.
you're
Thank you
awesome.
so much
Thank
for
you,
having
Nicole.
me.
And I'm having fun. Ladies' night is chill. I like ladies' night. Thank you, everybody. Share the show. Share the show.
Bye, guys.
And Glenn has
Happy
pizza.
holidays.
Everybody, happy Hanukkah.